All right, good afternoon everybody. This is Matt with MH Motors, Must Have Motors, and welcome back to the channel. Today in front of us here we have the second AUTOart of my collection. So the first one was my Koenigsegg, and this second one is a rauh-welt begriff. So another Porsche in my collection. I am starting to collect or add the Porsches that have intrigued me over the years, and certainly with my background of being a Japanese tuner background, I do like what the RWBs have in store for Porsches, specifically the 993s. So as you can see on the outside of the box, it is an RWB 993 by RWB here, rauh-welt begriff, and made by AUTOart. Super excited. The exterior of this box is pretty basic, as you can see. It does have the description of what it is. It is a white with gun gray wheels, and as you can see, it is a composite die cast, so not a full metal. It's that composite type of material, unfortunately, but that's the new wave of AUTOarts that are coming out. So outside again is pretty basic, so we'll just do one last look here. More disclaimers, more details on the outside for adult collectors, more licensing information and hazards. So without further ado, let's get this opened up. Alright, so let's take a look at the exterior here real quick, and then we'll open up the doors and check out the interior right after. So far, I'm really liking what I'm seeing. It's on par with any other AUTOart. All the composites, certainly great amount of detail. As you're able to see here, certainly fantastic. One thing that I will have to point out, so these fenders are really, it's one piece with this model, and they make it look like they're the wide body by just painting on this fine black line. So this line and all these lines where the wide body is, it's just a paint line. It's not a separate piece than the actual body. So just one little minor difference. Maybe I would have liked to see two separate pieces actually bolted together. That would have been really cool to see in a model, but you know, you can only go so far with these. Looking at the front, the headlights, certainly a great amount of detail in those headlights. Perfect replica for the 993 Porsches, with that super wide body front lip and the canards as well. There is no carbon fiber pieces on the front here. It is just a black material, so it still looks really decent. And they got that addition with the tow hook there, and the writing of the RWB, different verbiage. You know, to be honest, I actually don't know what that says. If any of you guys know what this says right here, post it in the comments below. I'm curious to see. The Porsche emblem is really fantastic amount of detail as well. Moving on to the side, front wheels are great. The rotors do spin through the calipers, as of course we like to see. I like the tire lettering they got, the idlers. That's pretty standard with all these RWBs, I believe. And then each one of these has a separate name. This one is called the Spearmint Rhino, so I think that's pretty cool that they've added that in there into the paint scheme of this car. More canards down the side, more of this aero. Certainly unique pieces for all of this super wide body design that they have for these RWBs. And if you zoom in real quick a little bit, you'll notice that they do, like I said, it is one piece for the model, but they do have the different rivets there symbolizing the rivets of the real car as they attach these wide body pieces to the actual fenders of the real life versions. Moving around to the rear, super awesome look to the rear. Again, check out how wide of a fenders those are to the rear bumper. Rear bumper has a great amount of detail, including those tail lights. And then too, if you notice in the red of the tail light, they included, of course, the branding there. That's fantastic. Perfect replication of the real life version. And of course, they have the RWB on the license plate spelled out there, and then the exhaust is certainly a great amount of detail put into that exhaust. So while we're at it, we'll take a look at the bottom. I like what I see. There, of course, is a lot of plastic, but you know, it's pretty cool. Cool to see the steering wheels, or the wheels are active steering to them. And there, of course, is the branding for AUTOart and RWB 993. Also, another thing to note, the exhaust pipes are tubed out. They don't just shallowly end at the very end there. So they are a tube per the one-of-one version. These rear wheels are super deep, super wide. It's awesome to see those details, and then with the actual wheels, the gunmetal wheels, and the rotors there spinning. They even have the Porsche lettering on the calipers as well, so great amount of detail to these three-piece wheels. One last thing to note on the outside, they do have the rear heating lines of that rear window. That's really cool to see that amount of detail put into these models. So let's get this opened up. So on this model, they just have two opening parts, the two doors. Unfortunately, the engine bay and the front trunk do not open. These are sealed. So we'll just open up this and check out the interior. Alright, so as we zoomed in here, certainly a great amount of detail put into this old school Porsche. I love the steering wheel. It's a nice replica there to the Alcantara suede steering wheels that they have in real life with that yellow 12 o'clock marker. That is really cool to see. The gauges on the dash are also nice to see with the different needles, and all of them replicated very nicely. There's not a whole lot going on with the dash other than that. A lot of black going on, but you know, pretty proper. There with these old school Porsches, there's not a lot of detail in those aspects. Cool thing with the seats, They have a great detail to the seat belts as well as the seats themselves with the RWB logoing and the Sebelt seat belts there. They are very buckety, as you can see, with in the back the seat belts tying into the back seat. I don't know if you can see that in the back. They also include the seat belt for the rear seats as well, right there. So that's a really cool addition to see added into these. Also, the interior is a carpet material there on the inside and the floorboards. Here's a better look at the interior from the passenger side. Again, you know, basic amount of detail to the dash. They got the little head unit, it looks like, there in the middle. So, you know, it's a proper amount of detail added in. So another look there to the seat belts and the seats themselves. And it looks like they have also where the clicker button for the seat belts joined together is also nicely painted in red. And you can see too in the back seat a little bit, they have that as well. So there we have it, everybody. Super pleased to add this AUTOart Porsche 993 RWB to my collection. If you are new to this channel and are enjoying what you are seeing so far, do consider hitting that subscribe button and that bell notification to stay up to date on all these future upcoming diecast videos that I have planned. And also, of course, if you enjoyed this video, do consider smashing that like button, thumbs up as well. That would mean so much to me for moving this channel forward. So again, everybody, thanks again for watching and have a good evening.